Okay, welcome to this tutorial. This tutorial is going to walk you through how to do Inventor Parts 1 through 8. Actually, we're going to talk about 1 through 8. So this is part 1, this is part 2, part 3, 4, if I scroll up, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, so a little bit of background here. I am recording this so obviously so you can see it, okay, but I am also, what I'm doing is I'm going to make this a little bit easier on you. If I click with the left, which is the default, if I left click on the mouse, which is the default click, which is my pointer finger, it's going to turn blue. If I right click, it's going to turn red. So right is red, left is blue. It's going to help you to understand what I'm doing. And also if I hold down the mouse key, if I hold it down for whatever reason, like right now I'm holding down the left key, I'm going to let you know what's going on, okay? So let's start off by doing parts 1 through 4, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through Inventor real quick, real easy, and we're going to make this the fast way, okay? We're going to do this the easy way. So this right here is the front view. Everything that we see here, all this is the front view, so we're going to make this the fast way. So open up Inventor, start a new part. If I need to, I can go up to here, the big eye, and open up a part that way. Now the monitor that I'm using is quite large. It's actually a lot bigger than the one that you have, so you may have to minimize this to make it easier for you to work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just draw out these lines, making sure that they're perfectly 90 degrees to one another. As you can see, they are 90 degrees, and I'm just going to make this shape and then extrude it out. All right, let me show you. So I'm going to click on the big eye, New, Standard IPT, Create. Start 2D Sketch. Click on my front view. Click there. Okay. I'm going to grab my line tool. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to draw the shape. So I'm just going to click there and release. I just clicked and release. Draw it up, over. Do you notice how it says 90 degrees at the very bottom? At the bottom there. So 90, 90, 90. And if I bring this up, you notice how it kind of like lines up with the other one. There, there, 90 degrees. Bring it down. And notice how it turns green there. It knows that I want to click it, and then I'm going to snap them together. Bam. Okay. So from here, we're going to go back and look at our dimensions, and we notice the bottom is 5. That's our dimension right there. Bottom is 5, and this one's 2. So let's go ahead and make our dimensions 5 and 2. So let's go over here, click on dimension, click, bring it down, click again. That opens up our dimension. Type in 5, hit the 5, and then hit enter. Now you notice how it kind of vanished over here. Not a problem. Click on front, and all of a sudden it makes it bigger for us. And I'm still on my dimension tool, so I'm going to left click here, click again, 2. Okay, so now I've made the 5 and the 2 that's similar to this 5 and this 2. Okay, now I want to dimension this line right here, which is also 2, and then this line, which is 1, which is this line here. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 and then 1. Watch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the ball on my mouse. I'm just going to pull it towards me. Okay. This line right here should be 1, so let's click dimension. Okay, just bring it over to here, click it again, 1, enter. Notice how it also made this one 1. Okay, so we just did this one right here. Now this one's going to be 2, which is this line right here. Okay, let's click here, click, 2, enter, Perfect. Click on my front view. Okay, it's starting to take shape here. It looks a little funky, but we'll deal with that. Let's make this one right here, which should be 1 inch. So click here, 1, enter. Okay, and if I look, the overall size is 5. Okay, this is 2. This is 1, so I know that this is 2 plus 1 equals 3, so this has to be 2. So if I click on this, it's probably going to give me an error. It says, hey, listen, you can't dimension this because it has to be 2. So let's click and see what it says. Look, exactly what it's saying. Okay, over constrain, always hit cancel if you get this. So we know that this is 2. It has to be. Okay, and it's showing me that it's 2. Perfect. Cancel. I go to finish sketch. I'm going to click on my little house over here. Now that I finished sketch, everything is closed out. I'm going to click on extrude, and right here or over here, either one, this box or this box down here, I'm going to click on direction 2, and if I look back here, I can see that it's extruded out 3 inches. Okay, so I'm going to make this one 3 inches as well. Click OK. Click on my home view. And now I've just made part 1. So I'm going to go to the big eye. I'm going to go to Save As. Okay, I'm going to click on that document. So I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom where I see my name. Now your name is going to look different. It's going to have your first initial, your last initial, and a bunch of numbers, or it could have your first name dot last name. Okay, but basically you want to go to your X drive, and then you want to create a new folder here. So create folder. You should have a Tech7 folder, or if this is for DDP, it should be in your DDP folder. Okay, whatever it's for. So make that. So we're going to make that. And then we're going to put it into an Inventor folder. So let me just name this Inventor. So Inventor, I double click on that, and this is part 1. I'm going to save it as part 1. Click Save. I've just saved part 1. Okay, if I look down here at the bottom of the screen, it even says part 1. Now let's go ahead and let's make part 2. Okay. Alright, so we just finished part 1. Let's move on to part 2. Here, big eye, click New, double click Standard IPT, Start 2D Sketch. I'm going to click on my front view, click right here. Alright, start with the line tool. Come on up. How are we going to bring this up? We're going to do this a little bit different. Okay, we're going to bring this one up. Notice I didn't click anything yet. Bring it up straight. Okay, I just have the line there, straight. Click 2 and then enter. Alright, and you notice it's still attached up here. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to bring this over. Doesn't make a difference how long right now. Click it. Okay, I'm going to bring this one down perfectly 90 degrees. Does not make a difference how long. Click it. Bring this one over. Doesn't make a big deal how long. Click it. I'm going to bring this one down. Okay, right to this line here, click it. And because there's no line here, I have to make one. So I'm going to bring this right over and click. So now I've just created a full shape. Okay, I've just created a full shape. How cool is that? With only one dimension. Now, let's click on my dimension tool and go back to my front view. And I have 2 inches here, so let's do the rest of this. Let's do 5. I know it's supposed to be 5. Okay, let's click back over here. How big is that top piece? This piece right here is 2. So let's click here and go 2. Click it again. Okay, this piece right here, how big is that supposed to be? Let's take a look. 1. So let's click 1. That's 1 right there. And then this piece right here, let's take a look, is 2. So I just click 2, enter. And what happens is it automatically adjusts this angle to fit the correct size. Do finish sketch, click on my little house, extrude. I'm going to come over here and type in, or click on direction 2, so it's going away from us. Change this from 1 to 3. Hit enter. Click on my little house, and we are good to go. That's it. That is part 2. Very simple. Okay. If you could do part 1, part 2 should be very simple as well. Now we're going to work on part 3 and part 4, and for this one we have to work on 2 different planes. So let's start and work a little bit slower for this. So that's part number 3. Let's work on that. But before we leave, let's go to File, Save As. Say this is part 2. Save. Perfect. Good. Go to the big I. Let's go to New. Standard IPT, such as the part file. Alright, so we're going to do Start 2D Sketch. We're going to go to Front, click on the front view. Now we're going to make a rectangle. We're going to do the old-fashioned style, just make a rectangle. So I clicked it there. After clicking the rectangle, notice the rectangle is in blue over here. Okay, so I just clicked and I released the mouse. So I'm going to type in 5, hit the Tab key, and then hit 2, and then Enter. Hit my front view, and look, there we go. Click on my home view, so it gives me that nice isometric look. Okay, now what we have right here is we have our basic shape. Okay, if we look back here, we have just a basic rectangle. I know it's not all here, but we just have a basic rectangle. What we have to do is we have to go back to Inventor, and we're going to finish our sketch. Go to Extrude, click on Direction 2, and we're going 3 inches, 3, Enter. Click on our little home view. So now we've got that rectangle the way we want it. We've been working on our front view. Now for part number 3, what we're going to do is we're going to work on our side view. So let's click over here, the top right. Let's click over here, let's click on our right view. Perfect. And we're looking at it from the side. Okay, we have 1 inch that goes up, we have 2 inches that go over, and then we have an angle that comes down here that we don't really know what that angle is. Okay, so let's do this the easiest way we can. So we're on our right side already. Okay, I already changed it over. See, I'm on my right side. Perfect. Start 2D Sketch. Click on this plane so it knows where I want to work. I just scrolled the mouse in and out so it so it helps me. Click on my line tool. I'm going to start at the top left corner and I'm going to make a line. There's my line there. Bring it down. Perfectly 90 degrees. Type in 1. Hit enter. Awesome. I'm going to right click. Then click OK. Left click OK. Now I'm going to click on my line tool again. Okay. And I'm going to click the same spot that I started at before, but I'm going to come over right along this line, 2. Click 2. Cool. And notice how it's still attached. I'm going to then come on down here and click. And I've now created a triangle, 1 inch by 2 inch. And if you look, that's the size here, 1 inch down from the top, 2 inch back from the top left. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I'm still on this sketch, I haven't closed the sketch out, I'm still on my line tool, and watch what I do. I'm going to start over here, click on the top right corner, come over to this corner, click, click again, see I have a line, click, click again, see I have a line, I'm going to click to each corner. What I'm doing is, that line is still attached there, click. What I did was I just basically created a box around the whole shape, okay, using the existing lines. The reason being is if you notice over here I'm on sketch 2, it doesn't know the difference between sketch 1 and sketch 2, so I have to tell it. So I basically made a box just to tell the computer, hey listen, I'm gonna, I want you to extrude something for me, but this is the shape I want you to extrude it out of, which in this case is a box. Now I'm going to click on my little home view, okay, and I'm going to do finish sketch. So I've finished sketch and I've got my little rectangle sitting right there that we worked on. Okay, I want to do extrude, and as I do extrude, it's nothing selected yet. Okay, I have to tell it what I want to select. So I'm going to select the top area. Okay, and if I look down over here, I notice this top area is selected. It's this triangle here. Okay, that's the part I selected. And I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back 3 inches. Okay, bring it back 3 inches. So notice it's going in the wrong direction. Let's select direction 2. So it's actually taking it away. Click OK. And there we go. That's it. That's part 3. File, save as. This is going to be saved as part 3. Click save. I clicked enter, and we are good to go. Alright, so let's move on to part 4. The big eye, click new, double click standard IPT. Nope, sorry about that. It's part 4. Part 4 is interesting. Let's take a look at part 4. Oh boy. It's got a slant on the front, it's got that, it's got that. Okay. So let's make this easy on ourselves. Let's go to Start 2D Sketch, click on our front view, click again, and I'm just going to move stuff. Okay, line. Start my line right here. I'm going to come over, and I'm going to make this 5. Bam, 5. And I'm just going to scroll the mouse back and forth, basically the wheel, okay, until I can see what I'm working on. I put the mouse where I want it to scroll into. Okay, so I put it right there and then I just scroll. Alright. So now I want to bring this up. I want to bring this over perfectly 90 degrees. Okay, and then I want to bring it over to here, down to there. Click. Okay. So all I did was I made a line, made another line 90, another line 90, and then I just made kind of like a slant. Alright, you're going to say, Mr. C, that's not the right size. It doesn't look anything like the other one. I know, we'll work with it. So, click on, right now we're on our line tool, click on your dimension tool. That's 5. Let's click here on this, and we're going to make this 2. It's supposed to be 2. Alright, let's click on my front view. Alright, it's starting to come together a little bit. Now here's the thing. This is 5, but the top, we don't know the size. So let's go back and look at it. The bottom is 5. We see right here it's 5. We know we went up 2. That's right there. Oh, that's how big the top is. It's 4. Okay. So, I'm still on my dimension tool. Let's click here. Bring it up. Click again. And let's do 4. Notice that when I do this, it automatically gives me this angle. I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to do any math. It gives me the angle right away. So let's do Finish Sketch. Sketch is now finished. Let's click on my little home view. Perfect. Let's go to Extrude. I click on Extrude. We have to go in direction 2. We know we have to go 3 inches. And then I'm going to hit Enter. And there you go. You have the basic shape of part number 4. But wait a minute. We are missing a chunk out of the back of it here. I'm sorry, out of the right side. We're missing a piece out of it. So how do we do that? Well, let's take a look. It is 1 inch over. It goes all the way up. It's 1 inch by 2 inch. Okay. Let's do this together. So click on my right side over here on the top. I'm click on my right side, and I'm going to go Start 2D Sketch, and I click on that. I am now in sketch mode. First thing we're going to do, grab my line tool. Start at the top left. You notice how it turns green. Click, click, click. Now, in the last shape, I did this afterwards. Right now, I'm just doing it in the beginning. It doesn't make a difference. It's all the same. It turns green, and I click. So now I've just boxed in this entire shape. And you notice that I still have my line tool attached. Okay? And this is why. So I'm going to come over, bring my line tool still attached right along the top. I'm going to click. I'm going to bring this down 90 degrees. Click. Okay. click here again. I'm going to bring this over. 1. Hit enter. I bring it up perfectly 90 degrees. Okay, perfectly 90 degrees. Click again. You notice I have 3 separate sections here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do finish sketch. Let's click on my home view. Now let's extrude. We have to tell the computer which one of these sections we want to extrude. Okay, you have to carefully select the one that you want to work with. Oops, I made a mistake. I clicked the wrong one. That's okay. Click cancel. Go back and click extrude. So whatever one I want to work on, I have to be very careful just to highlight that area. Okay. Sometimes it takes a second. Okay. It turns dark. As soon as it turns dark, we know that's the area we want to highlight. We want to click. This is just part of the program. It does this. Unfortunately, you just have to get used to it. A lot of times, if you zoom in, sometimes it helps. Or even if you change the angle, sometimes it actually does help as well. I just changed where I'm coming from. Okay. Okay, finally got it. It is that tricky to get the right one. So if you're having trouble with it, just keep working on it. Okay, so I've got the part selected that I want. Let me just take a look. How far back do I want to go? I want to go back 2 inches. So I come back here. I select 2, but I'm still going the wrong way. So let's do direction 2, and then I click OK. Click on my little home view, and now I've got the shape. I'm going to go File, Save As. This is part 4. Click Save. Okay. This is the first 4 parts. They should be relatively easy. The next 4 parts, 5 through 8, are a little more complicated. Okay. And let's start on part number 5. Go to New, Part, okay. Let's take a look at the basic shape of Part 5, okay. So I kind of have an idea here what I need to do. Let's do Start 2D Sketch, and let's do the standard rectangle. So I did Start 2D Sketch, I clicked on my front view, clicked on my front plane, clicked on my rectangle, clicked here. Okay, and I'm going to do 5. Notice how the blue area is highlighted right now. 5, I'm going to hit the Tab key and then do 2. Click on my little house. Okay, now I have that rectangle. I'm going to click Finish Sketch. Click Extrude. I want to extrude in direction 2. I want to extrude 3 inches. And click Enter. Click my little home view so I can see everything that I'm working on. Now, just like I've done on my on part 3, I'm going to do the same thing here on part 5. Before I go any further, let's do File, Save As, and change this to part 5. Hit Enter. Perfect. I'm going to work on the right side view. So I'm going to click Start 2D Sketch, and I'm just going to click that view. Okay, I'm just going to get it to where I want it. Perfect. Now this one's a little tricky because you have angles here that aren't given to you. They don't tell you the exact length. They don't tell you much of anything really. So let's work with what we do know. This 1.5, we know that the peak of this is directly in the center of this 3-inch box. So let's use that to our advantage. Watch what we do. Line tool. I start at the bottom left. What do? I'm going to box it in like I have been boxing everything else in. Box it in. You notice how it changes color? It goes right to green when it gets to that corner. Sometimes it'll go to yellow. That's fine. Alright, so now I have a box around the entire thing. Notice I'm still in Sketch 2. I haven't done anything else. Okay? I still have my line tool. Watch what I'm going to do. Click the bottom left corner. I'm going to come over 1.5. I typed in 1.5, then I hit enter. That is directly in the center of this 3-inch box. Now I just bring the line straight up. Notice how it turns green there when it gets to the top. Notice how it says 2 inches, which is perfect, which is where it should be. And you notice where it says 90 degrees. It's exactly what it should be as well. So now I've just divided this box into 2 separate but equal sections here. Okay, they're separate. This is 1.5 by 2. This is 1.5 by 2. They're separated, okay, but they're both equal in size. Now, let's take a look over here. If I notice, I have a line that comes down from that point all the way down to the far back side, which in our case, the way we're looking at it is the right side. But on this side, I've got a line that comes up 1 inch, and then it slants over to the middle. So let's worry about the, let's do this all in one shot, okay? And let's start by going to the bottom left-hand corner. So we're going to start down here. I still have my line tool selected. Make sure you still have that selected. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to come up. How far was that? Do you remember, or should we take a look? 1 inch. Bring it up. Put my line right on top of that line. Type in 1. Hit enter. Okay, notice it's directly in the center, and it's still attached. I'm going to bring this right over here. Click. I'm going to click this again on my line tool, right over here. Click. Click on my little house. Alright. Now, I'm going to do Finish Sketch, and you can see the lines that I just made are right there. Click Extrude. Now, it doesn't know what you want to extrude, so you have to tell it. Alrighty. I'm going to hold down the Control key, click this one, and I'm going to highlight just this area. Oh no, I made a mistake. It's okay. Remember, hit cancel, do it again. Extrude. I want to highlight just this area here. Holding down the Control key, click. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And I want to highlight just that area there. Okay. So I basically just highlighted both those areas that I want to extrude. Okay, I'm just moving the view around so you can see different sides of it. Okay. I want to go direction 2, but I want to do the whole distance. So this is just 1 inch. I know that it's 5 inches altogether, so I'm going to do 5. Hit enter. I have now made part 5. If by any chance holding down Control and clicking them doesn't work for you, just do them separately. If I go back, you could always do it this way. Click Extrude, highlight the area that you want to extrude. Okay, if it does that, again, that's just a mistake. Just highlight the area that you want to extrude. Make sure it turns light in color, not dark. Okay, again, it can be tricky sometimes to work with. So that's I'll just start with that one. That's 5. I'll go direction 2. Click OK. And the reason why I want to show you this is because all of a sudden you notice those lines that were there before are no longer visible. This happens a lot when you're working with Inventor. Don't panic. Don't raise your hand and be like, oh, I don't know what happened. I'm about to tell you. Over here on the left-hand side where it says Extrusion 2 and Extrusion 1, these are what I've just done. These are the extrusions that I've just made. I'm going to click this, Extrusion 2, okay? And Sketch 2 is where I was just working. Notice if I roll over it, if you look back at the piece, you notice how those white lines come on back? We want them to be back there. We want to make them visible. Right now they are invisible. So I'm going to right-click Sketch 2, and then left-click Visibility. And if you look back, all of a sudden, there they are. They're back again. So now I can go back and do Extrusion, and I can play around with this a little bit more. Again, you may have to change your angles. A lot of times I tell students just change the angle. Maybe that'll help you out a little bit. You want to get it so that it's light colored. Come on, and boom, got it. Okay. Again, it takes some time, so be patient with it. All right, do direction 2, click OK. Now, a lot of times you'll have your sketches will be left on. That's okay, but we want to turn them off. The same way we turn them on is the same way we're going to turn them off. You're going to right-click on that sketch. So in this case, it's Sketch 2. Right-click, and then unclick Visibility. Click on my little house, and there we go. We have just made Part 5. How cool is that? We've already saved this, but let's just click the Save button again just to make sure we save it. It's this little disc right here. Okay, it says Save, so you can just click that and you can save it. Now let's work on Part 6. So New, Part, click on that. It's going to open it up for us. Let's go to the big eye again. Let's go to Save As, and let's make this into Part 6. Click Enter. Now we're at Part 6. We just saved it. Let's do Start, 2D Sketch, and now we've got our planes in front of us. And let's take a look at Part 6. Okay, Part 6 looks a lot like Part 3. Okay, so if remember how we did Part 3, it's the same way we're going to do Part 6. Alright, so this is Part 6. Let's take a look here. We're going to do a 5x2 rectangle and then extrude it out by 3 inches. So let's start by doing that. Here's my front view. Front. Rectangle. Start down here at the center. Bring it up. I type in 5. I hit my Tab key. I then hit 2, and now I hit Enter. From here, I'm going to click on my little house. I'm going to do Finish Sketch. I'm going to do Extrude. And I'm going to go Direction 2. And I'm going to go 3 inches. Just highlighted that. I deleted it. 3. Click on my little... Boom. Okay. So we have the standard 5 by 2 by 3. I just want to stop you here. If you ever are not sure the size of something, if you're not sure what size it is that you made it, click on the Inspect tab at the top here and click on Distance. Okay? Click on Distance, and what you can do is you can just click on lines, and I'm sorry, you can click on points, and it'll tell you from point to point how big that line is. Okay, so if I click on this, it tells me it's 2. If I click this point to this point, it tells me that it's 5. Okay, if I click this point to this point, it tells me that it's 3. It's exactly what it should be. Okay, a 5 by 2 by 3 rectangle. Okay, so getting back into 3D mode here. We want to start a 2D sketch on our right side. Now I can either click here or I can click here. It does not make a difference. Okay, so I clicked there, then I clicked here. Alright, so now I am on the right side view, and let's take a look at what I need to make. Okay, so I have to make this weird looking thing here, so let's make this easy on ourselves. Let's make a line that goes up 1, a line that goes over 1.5, and then another line that comes up, and we don't know the distance to that, but we do know that it goes to the top right. Okay, so let's just work on that. So let's make a line that's 1, a line that's 1.5, another line that's over to the right. So watch. Again, we're on the right view. Okay, we're on the right side view. So I start at the bottom left. Click. I got my little line tool. Here we are. Hi, line. Okay, comes up, and we're gonna go 1. Hit enter. I'm still attached. My line is still attached. I want to come over 1.5. Now before I hit enter, do you notice it says 90 degrees at the bottom there? Do you notice I am 1.5, I'm ready to go, enter, okay? Everything's good. Now, I want to now take this line that is still attached and click it over to here. Perfect. Do you notice how my line tool is still attached? Now let's say for instance that your line tool goes away. I just made mine go away. You can always just click line again, and as long as you're in the same sketch, which I haven't finished sketch or anything, I haven't done that, as long as you're in the same sketch, you can just keep on working. Okay? So I'm going to click back over here, and I'm going to make that that piece that goes around the outside. Okay, the frame that goes around the outside. Okay? So now I have finished sketch. Now I have all my lines all the way around it. Now, do you notice how it looks? Do you notice how everything looks purple or blue depending on what series or what version you're running with? Okay, I have, if I click on my house view, I've got like that really weird shape lined out. Okay, now I have, I went up 1, I went over 1.5. Now, here's the question. How far do I bring it back? From here to here, how far do I bring that back? It's a little interesting because there really isn't a measurement for it. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of math here. All right, the overall is 5. This piece right here is 2. So 2 minus 5 is 3. So I know that this line from here to here is 3. So that's going to tell us our extrusion distance. So let's click on extrude. And I want to extrude just this. Oops, I made a mistake. Click cancel. Extrude again. Okay. So now I have just that part selected, the part that I want. Okay, and I'm just gonna show you some different angles here. Little show for you. All right, so click on my home view. I have the part that I want to work with. It happens to just be 3, which is perfect. It's what I want. If not, just type in 3. And then I do direction 2. Click OK. Boom. I have exactly what I want. All right. Click my home view. Look at that. I have now made part 6. Click the little save. And for those of you that want to know what that icon is, it's actually called a floppy disk. We don't use those anymore, believe it or not. When I was a teacher, that's, well, I'm sorry, when I was a student, we saved everything on floppy disks. And, well, you don't see them anymore because they won't even hold a song. That's how little of space they have. But that's what that is. It's called a floppy disk. All right, so you click on the save icon, and we've saved part 6. Let's go to the big eye. Let's go to new. Standard IPT. Again, going to the big eye and clicking on new, or clicking or just hovering over new and having it go to the parts thing, it's the same thing. A standard IPT in a part file is the same exact thing. If you notice, look down here at the bottom, you notice how these have part 1 has part1.ipt, part2.ipt. Okay, this tells us that these are all Inventor parts. Okay, that's what these are. So these are Inventor parts. So we know that they're a part that we've made, and they're not like an assembly or a drawing or anything else like that. Okay, so I've just opened up a new part file. Unfortunately, it's saying it's part 9, so let's correct that. Let's go to the big I. Let's go to Save As, and this is actually part 7. Click part 7, click Save. Okay. All right. Start 2D sketch, click on the front view, click the front plane, click rectangle, click, I go 5, 2, click home, okay, go to finish sketch, extrude, direction 2, change this to 3, perfect. Now what I want to do is I want to go to Start 2D Sketch. I want to click on the right side, and what I want to do is I want to grab my line tool, click here, click every corner here, it makes a nice box around what we need. Alright, let's start part number 7. New. Standard IPT. Start sketch. Let's go to front. Click. Rectangle. Start down here. 5. Tab 2. Enter. Click on my little house. Finish sketch. Extrude. I want to extrude 3 inches in direction 2. Perfect. Click on my little house. Click on Start 2D Sketch again. I'm going to go to the right side. I'm going to grab my line tool, and I want to go click on the bottom left corner. Click the top left corner. Wait till it turns green. Click. Wait till it turns green. Click. And green. Click. Perfect. I have now made a box around the right side of it. Now, why did I pick the right side? Because if you look at part 7, I made the overall box, but on the right side, I want to extrude out the letter L. So I want to just get this L shape going for me. So I'm going to go from the bottom left corner, go up 1 over 2, go up 1 and over 1. Okay, ready? So I'm on the right side. Okay, I'm on the right side. I'm just going to show you this. Okay, I'm still in sketch mode. So grab my line tool, go up 1, enter, go over 2, make sure I'm perfectly 90 degrees, 2, enter, go up 1, make sure I'm perfectly 90, and go over here, bam. Right click, okay, click on my little house. I want to finish my sketch. Extrude, I'm going to extrude just the top part here, so I can get just that highlighted. Sometimes it does take a second. Okay, maybe I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I've clicked on just that top portion. If I look around, you can see it's just the area that I want. I want to go in direction 2, but I want to go 5 inches. Okay. Now, click on my little house view. Now I want to work on this front and create that hole that belongs there. If I look here, there's like this gap in the middle. Okay. Those are 2-inch by 1-inch rectangles at the front here. So let's start by making those and then just extrude out the middle. So start 2D sketch, and I'm going to click just on this area. Okay, just on this area. Click on front. Watch what I'm going to do. The same thing I have been doing. Grab my line tool, click here, click here, click here, click here, click here. Okay. And what I did was, if I look at my side view, okay, I pretty much just outlined that whole front area, the area that I'm going to be working on. Now, with my line tool still connected, I'm sorry, with my line tool, click here. I'm going to come over to, I just put it right there, put over to, enter. I'm going to come up to that line, which should be 1, which it is. Perfect. Then I'm going to come over here, click. Perfectly 90, or in this case 180, either one is fine. Click 2, enter, up, okay, and then finish sketch. Now I have 3 boxes, 2x1, a 2x1, and then a 1x1 right in the middle there. I'm going to do extrude. I'm going to select the center area. Okay, if you accidentally select the whole thing, it's okay, just click cancel. Click extrude. Remember, you just want the area that you want to be highlighted. I want to go in direction 2, and I want to go 3. Hit 3, press 3 and then enter, and if you notice, I've just created part number 7. Okay, let's make sure we save this. File, save as, part 7. Okay, and we are good with part number 7. Check that out. Now, let's do part number 8. Let's take a look at part 8. Part 8 is a weird one. Okay, but let's take this one step at a time. Okay, so we're going to start by making our 5x2 by 3 standard block. Okay, so let's go to File, File, New, double click Standard IPT, Start 2D Sketch. I'm going to click Front, click on the front, click Rectangle, click the center there, 5, tab 2, enter, click on my little house, finish 2D sketch, extrude. I'm going to extrude out 3, click on my little house. Okay, now we can begin to do a little bit of work on the area here that we're trying to extrude out, which is going to be part of part 8. So let's go ahead and let's just save this real quick. Save as part 8. Typed in part 8. There you go. So we save part 8. Let's work on the front view, which is this view right here. We got this line that comes down straight. It comes over 1, then it comes up at an angle, and then it goes over 2. Oh boy. Okay. Let's relax here. Let's figure this out. Let's do this. Let's do Start 2D Sketch. We're going to click on this area. Now I know this is already part of Sketch 1, but we've already done work on Sketch 1, so we're going to add another sketch on top of Sketch 1 named Sketch 2, and it's just going to work out a little bit better for us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my line tool, and I'm just going to highlight all the corners. So I started at the top left, come down here, green, clicked, when it turns green, I'm going to click. I'm going to click. I'm just basically making a rectangle around the rectangle. Now what I want to do is I want to make that weird looking shape that was there, and then I want to extrude out the area that I don't need. Okay, so the top line I'm going to make here is going to be 2. The bottom line is going to be 1, and then we're going to connect them. Okay, I still am on my line tool, so I'm going to click here. I'm going to bring this over 2. I hit enter. And I don't know where this line is going to go yet. I don't know how far over 1 inch is, so I'm just going to right click and then click OK. Click back on my line tool. Now I'm going to click on the bottom left hand corner. I'm going to make this 1, click it, and then I'm going to come back up to where that 2-inch line stopped. You notice it turns green, and I'm going to click that. Now I'm going to do Finish Sketch. Okay, and I clicked on my home view. Now what I want to do is I want to extrude the area that I don't want. I want to extrude and get rid of that. Okay, so let's take a look here. How far back does this extrusion go? From here to here. How far back? Well, if we look, the whole thing is 3. We know that. Okay, there's this little indentation here is 1. This piece over here is 1. So this has to be just a 1 inch, which means that this whole area here has to be extruded back 1 inch. Okay, so extrude, highlight the area that we want, okay, which is this area here. Now we're going to do direction 2, and 1 inch is already selected for us right here. Okay, so we're going to click OK. Now we've just made that odd little shape on the side there. Okay, do you see how this looks similar to this over here? Really cool, right? Now what we want to do is we want to make this indentation that you see in the back. Shouldn't be that hard. Okay, and here's why. We're going to do Start 2D Sketch. We're going to click on that area that we want to work on. Okay, what I want you to understand is you need to ignore the shaded area here when you're looking at this square here, because we're not working on that plane anymore. We're just working on this shaded area. So watch what I'm going to do, and be careful to do it like this. I'm going to start at the top right corner. Bring it down. I clicked and I'm going to bring it down. Clicked. Remember, every time I click, left click, it turns blue. Every time I right click, it turns red. Okay, I'm going to click right here. Okay, which is the edge of this box. Now here's the thing, the computer might not recognize the edge of the box, so you might have to tell it, hey listen, I want to go to the edge of this box. So if you notice, I just turned my view there, click that, I'm going to turn my view back, click that, and then right here I'm going to click that. Now, if you notice, I've just made a box around this entire box right there. Now what I want to do is I want to create that 1 inch piece that goes that's going to be extruded back on that far side. So I know it's going to be extruded back, or it's going to be 1 inch, but how far is it going to go back? Good question. Alright, so let's just worry about making the 1 inch box, and then we'll do the rest in a minute. Let's start here at the top right. I'm going to come, I have a line, my line tool is selected. I'm going to come over 1, enter. I'm going to come down perfectly 90 degrees. Make sure you're always doing 90 degrees here. 2, select, yep. Now, click on my little house, do Finish Sketch. Now I want to extrude back this piece. So I want to get that selected. Now I want to extrude it in direction 2, but I don't know how far to bring it back. Let's take a look here. I want to extrude. I'm extruding this area right here. Okay. If I look, the whole thing is 5. What I have left over is 3, which means that this piece has to be 2. So I've already got this here. I've already going in the correct direction, direction 2, which is also 2 inches. Put it in a 2, hit enter. I have now just created part 8. Click save. And to wrap it up, I have parts 1, parts 2, parts 3, parts 4, parts 5, part 6, part 7, and part 8. Okay, that is all 8 shapes. When you are done, make sure that you hit save. And that is the completed tutorial for parts 1 through 8 with Inventor. Thanks for watching.